Hello class. Today we're going to be working on a problem that we've worked on a few weeks ago. It's the word problem with the stuffed animals. Like I said, we worked on it a few weeks ago, but we used a few other different methods, and now we have a new method that we're going to add. This method is part whole. The problem is Amy has 75 stuffed animals. James has 35 stuffed animals. How many animals do they have all together? The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to play with Cuisinart rods today. So these Cuisinart rods help us find what things actually equal. So let's say we're going to allow things to represent other things. This brown Cuisinart rod is going to represent our larger number, which is 75. This red Cuisinart rod is going to represent our smaller number, which is 35. Now we know we have part, which is this one part, and we have the other part, which is 35. So we can fill in part 75, part 35, but we don't know the whole. This rod right here is our whole. To find that, we need to add those together, our brown rod and our red rod. So brown rod, 75, red rod, 35, 5 and 5, 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So our total is 110. That means our whole is 110. One thing I need to address is when we're doing equals. So 75 plus, I'm going to move it up just a little bit, y'all. 75 plus 35 equals 110. Now, as you can tell with our Cuisinart rods, they do equal each other. That means not just that we're coming up to an answer, but that this side of the equation is balanced with this side. Think of it like a scale. When you're in math class, sometimes they have the scales with the weights on each side, or even in science, when those weights are balanced out. So in this case, there's 110 on this side, so 110 ounces, whatever. And then there's 110 on this side too. So they're actually equal. I don't want you to think that the equal sign means an answer is coming up, because it could be reversed and it could say a blank here equals 75 plus 35. Or they could mix it up in some other way. Just make sure that you know the equal sign just means, oh, we need this side to balance the other side. Right side, left side need to balance. That's pretty much it on our equals issue there. Now let's work on our next problem, because we do have one more problem. And this one is actually a new one. Let me grab that real quick. All right. This problem is Skyla has 10 dolls. She has 2 more than Emma. How many dolls does Emma have? So we're going to use our Cuisinart rods again, because we're trying to get familiar with them. This problem is not a part whole, it's a combination problem. So what it's saying is it's combining these two things to find out what the answer is. It may be subtraction. This one, in actuality, you could make a subtraction problem out of. So we're going to allow the brown rod to equal the 10 dolls that Skyla has. We're going to allow the red rod to equal the 2 dolls that Emma has. Now notice the 10 dolls is a lot bigger than the 2 dolls that Emma has. So Emma and Skyla have different dolls, and they're not combined at this time. But what we really need to find out is not how many dolls Skyla has, because we already know she has 10. But we only know that Emma has or I'm sorry, that Skyla has 2 more than Emma. So this green rod is representing Emma's dolls. This red rod is representing the difference in what Skyla has and Emma has. So let's do this problem. We know that this is 10. Let's go ahead, make this 10. We know that this baby is 2. So now we need to find out what our green man is. So 10 minus 2 is 8. So this means that this guy equals 8. And to check your answer, we'll go ahead and do the problem like we did previously, where we've got 10 minus 2 equals 8. And I'll bring that up again like I did earlier. So here is 10 minus 2, and then it equals 8. And the way that we know that this is balanced, as we had said previously, is that this green guy fits snugly in with this red guy, and they fit well below the brown. There's no hanging out, there's no extra. Obviously, this is our 2, this is our 10, there's our 10, there's our 2, and this is our 8. And everything balances out, as we've seen in multiple ways. So we see it here, we see it here, and we see it here. And I believe that is all I have for you. I just wanted to introduce Cuisinart rods because it's something we're going to be doing for at least a few days so we can get familiar with them. They're not necessarily the 10s because this didn't represent 10 in the first problem. The numbers, these Cuisinart rods represent the number that you need them to represent. So it represented 10 here, and this one represented 8. But it's not always going to represent 10. This is just another method for you to add, but not with your base 10s. All right, that is all I have for you today, class. Thank you.